Alright, what's up YouTube? 702 guy here with part 2 of the basics of FL Studio tutorial I'm doing. So today's tutorial is going to be focused on the playlist. Okay, there's two main parts of the playlist to start it off. Okay, there's the top part up here, which is really good for automation clips, and if you're more advanced user, you can actually create your whole song up here. I usually create my songs up here, but for beginner users, just kind of like want to make simple stuff to try to get used to it. This is what these bottom patterns are for. So I'm going to go into each thing. First I'm going to go into the tools. Okay, so the pencil tool is like a drag tool. You can only put one thing at a time. You can't like do it. It's just one bar each time you click. Okay. The paintbrush tool is the same thing, except you can drag and create a bunch of them at once. The delete tool. Well, first I gotta put something in. This is the delete tool. Okay. That is very self-explanatory. Just click on it. You can also, instead of using that tool, you can just go ahead and right click on what you're using. That'll delete it automatically. This is the mute button. So this is like this, for example. Okay, if I click the mute button, okay, it turns it gray, but then I can click on it again and it'll turn it back on. Okay, I'm not going to go into the slip tool because I still haven't figured out what that really does yet. This is the split tool. This is more for like splitting up vocals. So let's just go into a vocal thing real quick.
7, 9. Stop.
Okay. Oh, that's not a good one. Never mind.
Abnormalities.
Okay. So we got, it says abnormalities. So your split tool can basically take this and just chop this right in half, well, slanted at this bar. That's why I was trying to get a bigger one. But it can basically split it and just move different parts of the song, and you can mess it with that. But it doesn't. If you do it down here, the only problem with it is, like, I'll do it on this thing. If I do this, if I try to do it down here like this, then it just creates a whole new pattern. Okay, so I don't like that. It makes my song really unorganized. So I wouldn't recommend it if you're using the bars here. Okay, this is the zoom in tool we went over last time. You just click, and I mean the drag tool, so you just click it like that. But the problem with it is you have to switch back to the pencil, and it wastes a lot of time. So if you just want a shortcut to the tool, just control and then drag over it. Okay, the zoom tool. Okay, pretty self-explanatory, except easier way to do it, in my opinion, is just to drag this. Don't drag the whole bar itself, but just go to the edge and drag it. The farther you drag it that way, the more it zooms out. The farther in this way, the more it zooms in. Okay, and now I'm going to go over these tabs right here. So this tab is for your audio clips. So I already have some audio clips here, so I like these ones. It lets me choose. So say I want the fall silently vocals, I just right click on it, and here are the fall silently vocals.
Breathe so slowly.
Okay, that's what that is, and this is my automation clips. So basically, automation clips, kind of like what I said last video, they lower and raise your sound. So for example, when I have this in here, and then I put the fall silently vocals with it. Oops, right click. Put the fall silently vocals. It builds them up. Okay.
Gasp on for your.
Okay, so it makes it louder. And then this is your pattern button. This is if you want to organize your song up here, like my piano. Put a couple of those in, and then I could like switch to my hi-hats. Just right click and it'll automatically select it up. But this is more for the advanced users who want to do it like that. To keep it simple, we're going to go down here. Okay, another thing with the top bar is this button. It's kind of like the one on the last one. It's the mute button, solo button. So if you click on it, it'll completely mute it. Right clicking on this gives you a bunch of options, like you can rename the track and color it. You can lock it to different content. You can insert another track. Okay, so that's the different stuff with the top row. Now to the bottom row. The bottom row is the same thing, but just a lot simpler. So you can just literally click and create the pattern like that, and not really have to think about organizing it, which makes it really easy for beginners. This is what I would recommend, making your songs on the patterns for a little bit until you become more experienced with it. But the patterns can also work with the top part. So like say I have this, or I'll delete it to show you. So let's create piano. Okay, so I got the piano here. The pattern will still work here. Okay, so it's not like they're two separate things; they work together. Just to clarify that out. Okay, and the playlist is all separated in bars. Okay, so like based on like what I was saying with the last video, my piano thing goes 4 bars. So if you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4 full bars. Okay, when I click on it here, it's gonna also go 4 full bars. So it coincides with your thing to show how long your beat is. So these bottom, one more thing for the top row is you can shrink the tracks like that so you can see more, and you can also drag this back. If you think you lose it, just drag this up like that, and then drag all the way down. You got all that. So why I recommend the bottom row for beginner users, which is what this tutorial is aimed for, is because it, like I said, it makes your songs really simple. You could just literally put in all your stuff. Okay, so I already basically have my song set up how I want it. I was just gonna mess with it earlier. I saw this video on how to make a hip hop tutorial, or how to make a hip hop song, so I was like, well, I'll just give it a shot for this tutorial. So yeah, this is what I've got. Okay, so that's what that is. So like I said, if you right click stuff, it'll mess it. So like, I don't want the piano anymore, so it sounds like this. And then I can add the piano in. Take out my hi-hats. Take out my whole beat. Just take out that whole first bar. Okay, and then just go and put everything back in. So that's how you set up your song. What I'd recommend doing though is organizing like this, color coding like the melodies compared to the beats, and then the effects. So like the piano's the main melody, so I put it as green. These are all my beat things, so they're blue and they're all together. And then my violin's like my effect to kind of bring out the song a little more. So I color coded it something different. That's just what I do to keep my songs organized. It makes it a lot easier to produce, and it saves you work time instead of trying to figure out what patterns what. You already have it all laid out for you. So that's one easy thing to do. And then one more thing I want to talk about is if you want to just replay a certain bar till you get with it and you want to get it to sound right, if you just right click and hold the button down, it'll draw this highlighted line and it'll just keep looping this bar around. Okay, so it just keeps automatically looping the bar. You can make it like really short and just loop something really simple. Okay, and that just a quick thing if you haven't figured it out already, this arrow controls where your song's at, and it coincides with the bars. So like if I want to start on the 3rd bar to hear my song, drag it, and this little gray line shows where the arrow last was, so you can just go ahead and put it there again. So basically that's it with the playlist. Oh, one more thing. I lied. One more thing. So basically, this is your snap tool. It depends where your bar snaps at. So right now I have it set on bar, so each bar is going to snap to. But say if I want to put it on each step, for example, or each beat, it'll make it lower so I can snap it into smaller places. If you want to just smoothly drag it, you hold Alt down and drag it across, and it'll just smoothly drag it wherever you want it. But if you want to keep the snap on, that's the tool for that. Okay. So now this is the for real end. So that's basically it with the playlist. So if you found this tutorial useful, make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and make sure to watch the next one, which I'm going to be going over what this top bar is, I'm going to be kind of going over the sounds in here, okay? The browser tool and how to use it. And so after that tutorial, basically that'll be the basics of FL Studio. So you can go ahead and get your song started. So yeah, guys, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.